Just like last year, Apple has released 4 new iPhone models, but the lineup is vastly different this time, with Apple completely changing their strategy with the new 14 Plus model, and they didn't even raise the prices on the Pros, making it even more difficult than last year to choose the right iPhone model. So in this video, I'm gonna go through 14 purchasing mistakes that you need to avoid in order to make the right choice, and then I'm actually gonna give you some real practical advice on which one to buy depending on what you really care about. So let's jump right into the first mistake you need to avoid, and that's thinking you have to buy the Pro models if you want the best features and value, because the regular 14s get the same 128 gigs of storage as the Pro models, and they now get 6 gigs of RAM for keeping your apps open just like the Pros. And even though the Pro models have better camera features, the regular ones now get sensor shift stabilization with action mode, as well as finally getting cinematic mode in 4K, just like the Pro models, and they also get the same new selfie camera features. And of course, people who simply wanted the large display can now go with the new 14 Plus model instead of having to spend $1,100 on the Pro Max. But for mistake number 2, don't assume that the displays between these two are basically the same, because they're far from it. The Pro models now get brand new, upgraded displays with up to a massive 2000 nits of outdoor brightness, with 1600 nits peak for HDR content compared to only 1200 on the regular 14s, and up to 1000 nits of manual brightness compared to 800. On top of that, the Pro models finally got rid of the notch to utilize the new dynamic island feature with the pill-shaped cutout that morphs into the content that you're using, totally changing how the UI feels. And of course, the Pros get ProMotion technology with refresh rates up to 120 Hz for buttery smooth animations, as well as now going down to 1 Hz for better battery life, and to enable the new always-on display, which makes it feel like a totally different phone. And for mistake number 3, don't assume that the Pro Max model gets the best camera features like it did in the iPhone 12 lineup, because now the features are identical except for the display and battery sizes, no other differences at all, making it great for people who want to try out the smaller size of the Pro but don't want to sacrifice features. Now for number 4, if you're looking for the best 5G and connectivity features, you don't have to go all out with the Pro models, because this year we didn't get any special exclusive features on the Pros like we expected. The Lightning port speed is still the same with no upgrades, and they're all still on regular Wi-Fi 6 instead of Wi-Fi 6E, and basically everything else is the same, including the new Bluetooth 5.3 upgrade. And for mistake number 5, if you're someone who absolutely hates large camera bumps that stick out from the phone, then you need to avoid buying the Pro models, because the camera bumps are absolutely massive this year. Just look at the difference in the footprint of the square bump itself. And now look at the profile view. The camera bump on the 14 Pro and Pro Max stick out way more than ever before, and it'll most likely cause your iPhone to wobble when on a flat desk. So avoid that mistake if you hate large camera bumps. And moving on to number 6, don't assume that the A16 chip in the Pro and Pro Max is going to be a huge upgrade in performance compared to the regular 14s, because it still has the same 6-core CPU with minor performance improvements, and on top of that, the 14s now come with the 5-core version of the GPU from the 13 Pro, which is actually really fast. And on top of that, Apple mentioned that the thermal system is upgraded on the 14s, which will by itself give a huge boost in performance compared to the previous 13 models, so don't feel like you need the A16 chip. Now the next mistake you need to avoid is browsing the open web without being protected by a VPN like our sponsor Private Internet Access, which basically changes your IP address and reroutes your internet traffic through an encrypted tunnel to hide and protect your online activity from your ISP, the network admin, and the government on all of your devices. And that means hackers can't see your keystrokes, passwords, accessed files, or internet activity, and the best feature is that PIA has 50 servers in 50 states as well as many other countries, so you can access content that's not available where you live, or even watch a television premiere before it becomes becomes available in your time zone. Private internet access is also the most customizable VPN on the market and the world's most transparent VPN provider with over 30 million downloads, and they never record or store any user data. So go ahead and click the link in the description and pinned comment below to get up to 82% off and an extra 3 free months. And don't worry, signing up is risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so check out PIA today. Moving on to mistake number 8, if you want the absolute best camera features out there, you need to get one of the Pro models because they pack features you simply can't get on the regular ones. First of all, the Pros get the new 48 megapixel camera system that supports full resolution in Pro RAW mode, and they use pixel binning to combine 4 pixels into one, greatly improving low light photos and night mode, especially thanks to 2nd gen optical stabilization. And because only the Pro models get the LiDAR scanner, they're the only ones that can take night mode portrait photos as well as better portraits in general. Not only that, but the ultra wide camera is much improved this year and enables macro photography, which the regular 14s don't get. And don't forget that the Pro models get the additional telephoto lens as well. However, mistake number 9 is assuming that the 48 megapixel sensor on the Pro models allows for 8K video recording, because Apple is unfortunately not supporting that mode at all. You still only get the same 4K, but it might actually be worse than the 4K on the regular models, because there's a chance that the Pro models will be forced to crop in on the large 48 megapixel sensor and only use the middle 12 megapixels, leading to smaller pixel sizes and worse low light, but we're gonna have to test that out to be sure, so subscribe right now. Now on to number 10, Apple mentioned that the iPhone 14 Plus has the best battery life in any iPhone yet. However, that's only when you're playing back audio, where it gets 100 hours instead of 95 on the Pro Max. But in reality, Apple rates the Pro Max as getting 29 hours of video playback compared to 26 on the Plus, which is much more accurate in terms of real-world battery life, so the Pro Max is still the best. Now on to mistake number 11, just like before, Apple no longer includes a charging brick in the box, so you'll have to buy one separately, but before you buy Apple's $39 30-watt charger to take advantage of fast charging, stop, because you can get an even better and more compact 30-watt GaN charger for only $22 right now on Amazon, so check out the link below. And for mistake number 12, I fully believe that the Pro models are the ones to go with right now, because that new pill-shaped cutout design is going to be sticking around for the next couple of years. In fact, Ross Young believes that the regular iPhone 15 models next year will also ditch the notch, and then you'll feel like you made a huge mistake by buying the notched 14s, so keep that in mind. Now for number 13, if you're going to be upgrading to an iPhone 14 model this year, don't make the mistake of not buying Apple Care Plus, because Apple has secretly upgraded it to now include unlimited repairs for accidental damage, compared to previously where it only allowed for 2 incidents of damage every year, which is actually a huge upgrade for clumsy people out there, so I definitely think it's worth it. Finally, for mistake number 14, if you're upgrading from an older iPhone that doesn't support MagSafe, you need to keep in mind that if you're buying a thick case, you gotta make sure that it has MagSafe magnets built in, or else the magnetic connection won't be strong enough to work through that case. On top of that, you need to realize that only Apple's 15-watt MagSafe charger supports the fastest wireless charging speeds. All of the other third-party models are limited to 7.5 watts. So if you want the fastest wireless charging, get Apple's MagSafe charger using the link below. And now let's finally get into the buyer's guide portion of this video, starting off with who should be buying the regular iPhone 14 model. Of course, it's for those who are on a budget looking to upgrade their iPhone for the least expensive price, since it's $799 or only $33 a month. And because of that, it's likely also a good first iPhone for Android users who are finally deciding to switch over, since many Android phones start at a lower base price. And of course, the 14 Plus model is meant for those who have always wanted to try out the larger 6.7-inch display of the Pro Max model, but weren't willing to dish out $1,100 to do so. So it's actually really nice of Apple to give people that less expensive $900 option, especially since the Plus gets quite a bit better better battery life compared to the regular 14, which is another reason you might want to get that instead. Now the 6.1-inch 14 Pro model is for those who want the best of the best camera features, the best materials like the stainless steel frame, and of course, those who want the absolute best display and the brand new pill-shaped cutout with the dynamic island feature. Not only that, but you of course get the buttery smooth 120Hz ProMotion feature and the always on display, as well as many other upgrades including the huge camera upgrades. So it's basically for those who want the best of the best for the same $1,000 price as before. And finally, the 14 Pro Max is for those who want the best features with the largest display and the best battery life, basically the king of all iPhones. And as a bonus, the larger display is gonna make the pill-shaped cutout look smaller, as well as the actual bezel size, so it'll give you the ultimate experience for consuming media, playing video games, and anything else you can do on your iPhone. So there you guys go. Hopefully this video helped you make a decision on which iPhone 14 model to buy, and if you're gonna be upgrading, let me know which model you're upgrading from down in the comment section below, and definitely click the circle button to subscribe because we're gonna be reviewing all of these in depth very soon. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.